Today, I'm going to talk about a funny and serious movie from Indonesia called Too Handsome to Handle. Be careful, there are spoilers ahead. The Mas family has been good-looking for many generations. Lots of people admire them for being so good-looking, which also makes them a lot of money. The oldest son, Okis, is really popular on the internet. He has millions of people who follow him because he looks good, and he's also known as a person who helps guys impress the people they like. The dad, Pakar, used to be someone who broke a lot of hearts. He dated more than 1,200 girls before he met their mom. The mom is also pretty good looking because she has strong features, like a mustache that's easy to see. Lastly, there's the main character, Kyulin, who is the youngest son and the best looking of everyone in the family. Everyone in the family is used to being good looking, except for Kyulin. He has a hard time living a normal life because he's so handsome. He often wishes he looked just a little good instead of very good, so he could go outside without a big group of girls following him around all the time. Girls get really excited and sometimes even faint, pull their hair, or their noses start bleeding when they see his good-looking face. Because of this, he's never been able to have a real conversation with a girl. He doesn't go out in public much and has been taught at home instead of going to a regular school. Kyulin doesn't have friends to talk to, except for his pet fish. He plays cards with the fish and talks to it like it can understand him. His family watches him on a camera because they're worried about him. They want him to have a normal teenage life, so they're trying their best to help him. Okis, the older brother, tries to show Kyulin pictures of girls to get him interested in someone. But Kyulin says he wants to meet a girl who doesn't like him just because he's good looking. He wants someone to like him for who he is and what he likes, not just his face. When nothing seems to work to make Kyulin want to go outside and meet people, the family comes up with a plan. They decide to pretend that they have money problems and make Kyulin feel guilty so he'll go to a regular school. One night, Kyulin wakes up to get a drink of water. His parents act like they're worried about money. They say in an exaggerated way that they'll only have scrambled eggs for breakfast until they have enough money for Kyulin's homeschooling. Kyulin feels really bad that his parents are so concerned because of him. The next morning, he decides to go to a regular school instead. His family is really happy, but he says he'll only go to a school for boys. Even though they would have preferred him to be able to talk to girls, they're still glad for the step forward. A few days later, Kyulin starts his first day at the new school. His friend Okis gives him a ride on his bike, but Kyulin keeps his helmet on because he wants to hide his looks. But that plan doesn't work well and the helmet gets more attention than he wanted. He sits quietly in the back, but a mean kid named Sidi and his friends notice him. When the teacher comes in, she's surprised to see Kyulin with his helmet on and tells him to take it off right away. Kyulin doesn't really want to, but he has no choice. He takes off the helmet in a dramatic way and reveals his face. In the next part, the teacher ends up needing an ambulance because she gets a nosebleed and can't breathe properly when she sees Kyulin's good looks. The other kids complain to the principal that Kyulin is too handsome and it's causing problems. Kyulin tries to run home but gets tripped by one of the bullies. They take him to a storeroom and introduce themselves like they're superheroes. They call themselves the Tiga Tak, a group of 3 bullies led by Sidi, who is the principal's son. After a really extravagant introduction, they admit that they need Kyulin's help to invite a girl to the prom. These friends have been in their final year of school for the last 3 years. They're not ready to graduate until Sidi goes to the prom with the prettiest girl from the BBM school, Amanda. However, Amanda only says yes to good-looking guys, so they want Kyulin to ask her on their behalf. They pick a nice guy, Kibo, to assist Kyulin. Kibo has been a target of their jokes before and has to do what they say. Later, Kyulin and Kibo go to the principal's office to report the bullying in school. Kibo knows the result won't be great, but he still supports Kyulin. The principal is upset because his son won't graduate unless Kyulin helps him. The principal wants them to follow the bully's orders since Kyulin's looks give him a shot with Amanda. That night, Kyulin and Kibo plan to finish the task the next day to get rid of the duty. Kibo is the first person to be kind to Kyulin without caring about his looks. Although the day didn't go as planned, Kyulin is glad to have made a friend. The next morning, they go to the BBM school where the girls sense the boys' presence. The girls are strict and don't allow boys they consider unattractive to enter. So, when they see Kyulin wearing a helmet, they ask him to take it off. In a really intense moment, Kyulin removes the helmet, and chaos erupts among the girls. A few hours later, this news spreads to TV. Videos of girls crying, having nosebleeds, acting strangely, and jumping around are being shared on social media. Kyulin becomes known as the too handsome to handle guy. Amanda, the hottest student and a model from BBM school, hears the news and is immediately interested in Kyulin. He's the first guy who's as good-looking and successful as she is. She decides to make it her goal to impress him. As the news becomes a big deal, a group of girls gathers outside the Moss residence. The family starts asking people for money to show them their house. Kyulin, who is hiding in the streets, sees his family on the news. He feels hurt and used by his own family. When they call him, he doesn't want to go home. He feels even sadder when his pet fish is mishandled and dies because of the tourists. Now he's on a building's roof, hiding from people who are chasing him. Suddenly, a girl appears and asks if he's going to jump off the roof. Kyulin is surprised because she doesn't seem scared or shocked. The girl doesn't talk much and walks away. Kyulin is very nervous, but this encounter makes him feel a bit better. Later, his friend Kibo picks him up and invites him to his house. Kyulin is welcome to stay as long as he wants. In Kibo's room, Kyulin sees Rare playing cards and thinks they're amazing. They find out they have a lot in common, like collecting cards. The next day, they go to an all-girls school to find the girl from before. They also meet Amanda and give her some files. Amanda acts uninterested, but her nose bleeds after Kyulin leaves. Kyulin sees his crush on the stairs, but other girls don't let him talk to her. Kibo and Kyulin spend a lot of time together and become best friends. One day, Kibo takes Kyulin to play futsal and meet Rare, Kibo's crush. After the game, Kyulin sees the girl from the roof working at a store nearby. He can't stop looking at her. Kibo introduces Rare to Kyulin and they seem close, which makes Kyulin jealous. He can't sleep well that night because he's feeling strange and new emotions. He remembers Okis is good with love advice, so he plans to meet him. When they meet, Okis is really happy to help Kyulin with girls. Kyulin forgives his family for letting tourists in their house because without that, he wouldn't have met Rare. The two brothers go shopping for food while Okis gives Kyulin a list of things he should do to impress the person he likes. Kyulin follows Okis' advice, but he realizes he doesn't know the person he likes as well as his friend Kibo does. However, he doesn't want to give up on his crush. One day, a girl named Amanda comes to their school and gives Kyulin an invitation to her birthday party. She also gives him a phone as a gift. Later, they all go to a karaoke place together. Kyulin and the person he likes, Rare, get a chance to sing as a pair. Even though Kyulin is happy to sing with her, Rare is more focused on Kibo. Kyulin realizes that Rare likes Kibo too. This makes him feel very jealous. When Kibo is not around, Kyulin asks Rare directly if she has a crush on Kibo. At first, she says no, but when Kyulin lies and says that Kibo likes Amanda, Rare's expression changes and confirms his suspicion. After they all go back home, Kyulin calls Amanda and asks her for a favor. She agrees to help him. The next day, many people gather for Amanda's birthday party. When Kyulin and Kibo arrive, Amanda pays more attention to Kibo than to Kyulin. She even takes Kibo aside to talk privately. At the same time, Rare arrives at the party and sees Amanda kissing Kibo. Rare is really upset and runs outside. Seeing her sad, Kyulin tells her he has feelings for her. Rare thanks him but says she only sees him as a friend. Even though Kyulin tried to help, he doesn't get what he hoped for. Some bullies who were jealous of Kibo and Amanda's kiss start attacking Kibo. Kyulin is too scared to help and watches from nearby. Later, he brings Kibo home and helps him with his injuries next to his grandma. Only after seeing Kibo groan in pain, does Kyulin realize he made a big mistake. The next day, Kibo gives him a really special card from his collection that Kyulin had wanted for a long time. Feeling guilty, Kyulin admits to all the bad things he's done. Kibo is surprised and hurt by the betrayal. He says he would have backed off with Rare if he knew Kyulin liked her too. These words hurt Kyulin even more. Eventually, Kibo tells him to leave the house right away. Knowing he's wrong, Kyulin leaves. He comes back home after a month. His family is happy, but Kyulin isn't. He stays in his room and avoids everyone. Most of all, he misses his best friend. They see each other sometimes but don't talk much. At home, Kyulin's mom is worried. One night, she gives him his pet fish that's still alive and says he can do homeschooling again if he wants. His family just wants him to be happy. This makes Kyulin realize he has people in his life who care about him. He decides to fix things with Kibo. The next morning, he talks to Rare and admits everything. Then he apologizes to Kibbo. At first, Kibbo ignores him, but when asked about Rear, he talks about how much he loves her. Cullen shows him that Rear heard it all on the phone. This fixes their friendship. A few days later, they all go to prom together. Kibbo goes with Rear and Cullen goes with Amanda. As expected, Cullen and Amanda become prom king and queen. Cullen hears a girl say he's somewhat good-looking and is interested in her, hinting at a new relationship. Remember to subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the notification bell, and give a thumbs up to support the channel. Thanks for watching.